Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Tara Grace, and I am so delighted and excited to share with you a powerful free live class, a free feminine wealth psychology class to unlock 6 and 7 figure success. So, today I'm hosting a powerful 30-minute class on the topic of discovering the 3 secrets, the success secrets, and the hidden saboteurs of being a self-made woman. So if you've ever sensed that you are that you're putting in all the effort, yet something's still preventing like the highest level growth that you know that you're capable of, you are in the right place. This class is going to reveal the secrets that are rarely spoken about online, rarely spoken in circles, especially from very successful women. And I'm going to be revealing the hidden saboteurs. This is the key thing, the hidden saboteurs that keep even the most ambitious, very successful women stuck, and actually how to shift into unwavering faith, confidence, self-leadership, and magnetic success. This is actually a preview class of what's coming inside of my self-made woman masterclass experience that is happening next week. And I promise you, it is going to be deeply transformational. So with that being said, let me just keep an eye on the room to see if there's anyone else who needs to join. All right, let's dive in. So if we're going to talk about the self-made woman, I think it's important about what that makes you feel and what that imprints on your mind whenever I say self-made. So I'm going to invite you to drop in the chat room right now. When I say the word self-made, okay, or self-made woman, put it in the chat. What immediately comes up for you? What is it? What does that feel like? What does that sound like? What is the imprint? What is that imprint for you? Put it in the chat box. Or if you want to just hop in, Christine, I'm going to call on you because I know it takes long to um, type.
Yeah, I just put, I think self-made is powerful. I think if anybody can do it, I can. Of course I can.
I love that. So you see it as self-made means it's it's proof. When you think of self-made, it means it's proof that you can do it too. If you can do it yourself, I can do it too. I love that.
Mhm.
I love that. Tanya says, I'm feeling that my energy is expanded. So when you hear self-made, you hear that you feel your energy is expanded by that. That's good. That's good. And keep putting that in the chat box. And so what's interesting is from the world standard, because I know that I attract like spiritual, like women entrepreneurs, coaches, speakers, authors, transformational leaders, heart-centered women entrepreneurs, like female founders, like women that are like invested in growing themselves and their company. So I know that's what I naturally attract. So I know that for most of you, that's what it's going to feel like. And that's it feels expansive for you. There may be some of you where it's not, where maybe you're curious, you're leaning in like, self-made, is that self-centered? Is that, self-sacrifice? Well, what I think is important is to define for you right here, right now, whether you have a pen, paper, make a mental note, is define what self-made means for you. So that's going to be number one. But from the world standards, many think self-made means doing it alone. It means pushing. It means striving. It means grinding. It means proving your worth. It means sacrificing. It means doing it alone. I am a self-made woman. That means I'm self-funded. The wealth that I've created, the success that I've created has not come from any other outside source, investor, or man or partner or anything other than me partnering with God. So if this is your first masterclass with me or you're just finding me, you're going to know that everything that I do is filtered through the lens of love, okay, and not fear. Co creating with God in everything that I do to create what I call a sacred heart of success. And so the world standards is if you're going to be self-made, that means you did it alone, you pushed, you were grinding, and there is this sense of proving your worth and value in that process. But I know a deeper truth, and I also know a better way, a one that feels so much more in alignment, especially for women, and I'm going to share that with you. So I'm just keeping my eye on the room to make sure everybody's in. So for me, I'm redefining what it means to be self-made. And you get to redefine what it means to be self-made for you. So a self-made woman to me and is the standard of the teachings for this class and for the upcoming self-made woman masterclass experience that's happening next week or the recordings or whenever it is that you're finding this video, this is a preview to the full self-made woman masterclass experience. The standard here of the self-made woman, the identity of who she is that a self-made woman walks in divine alignment. She walks in personal power. And she walks in divine feminine leadership. And she owns her value, her worth unapologetically. She doesn't do it alone. She actually leads herself with faith and conviction and even intention. She doesn't sacrifice herself. She actually honors her energy, her desires, and her well being in the process. She doesn't seek external validation. Instead, she expresses herself fully, boldly, and unapologetically for the world to see. In fact, she knows that her light is luminous and she's here to let that light shine. So, even as I've described a self made woman, I invite you to take a look at and feel into is the identity that I've shared with you about how I see and have embodied being a self made woman. Is that true for you? And if not, you are absolutely invited to take on that identity, to choose, decide, commit, and allow that identity to be effortless for you. Because every single personal and financial breakthrough has come as a result of an embodied identity. And everything that I have done in terms of my coaching and my mentorship and my consulting to literally release women all over the world into six and seven figure success in alignment with their God given divine destiny and calling on their lives is as a result of keeping the foundation on which you build your empire of love and wealth the main thing, and that's love. And that is the identity of who you are. How you see yourself determines everything. I'm going to say that again. How you see yourself, the identity of how you see yourself literally determines everything. It determines your success. It just determines especially how you feel about that success, whether it feels like you're experiencing soul level satisfaction and love and expansion, or whether it feels hard and it feels exhausting. Because I know how it feels when I'm walking in divine alignment. There is a supernatural grace from God that is placed upon you because you're not doing it in your own strength. You're co-creating with God in the process. And so that's what I've created in my own life and my own business and my own real estate empire and my own coaching clients all over the world. Here's the reality. Even the most ambitious, successful women face hidden saboteurs, right? Like entrepreneurship and growing a business is the greatest personal development school on the planet. If you said yes to being a heart centered entrepreneur, being a female founder, being a business owner, then you said yes to signing up to personal development and self growth school. It just comes with the territory because there's no way that you can grow your business without successfully growing yourself in the process. And so today I want to expose, I want to reveal the three biggest saboteurs that actually keep women stuck and reveal the success secrets that will actually unlock your highest divine potential instead. And inside the Self Made Woman Masterclass experience that's coming after this, we're going to take what you've learned here much deeper and much further, and we're going to give you the tools. We're going to give you the tools. We're going to give you the transformation to actually begin embodying this revelation and this insight into your life, into your leadership, into your wealth, and into this year so that you can have greater success with greater alignment and greater ease. Does that sound good? Let me know if that feels good for you. Let me know if that feels good for you. Feeling so good. Taking a deep, expansive breath in here. Feeling so, so, so good. And I just want to thank God and the Holy Spirit and all of our angels and support that's here with us today, that is co creating with us this experience. And we also invite God into the highest divine potential on this self made woman journey. So, the very first saboteur to success is self doubt. Self doubt. This, we are literally decoding the feminine wealth psychology secrets right here, right now. The first saboteur, hidden saboteur, is self doubt. So, self doubt is when you're doubting yourself, but not just yourself. I believe it's more than that. I believe when you doubt yourself, you're doubting the divinity that is within you. When I see a woman doubt herself, I see a woman who's not aligned and embodied in the identity in which she has been divinely designed and ordained by God to be in this world. Especially if you're here to create change on the planet. You're a different kind of woman. You're my kind of woman. You're in the right place. So when you say to yourself or you hear yourself in that pattern of, you know, who am I? Who am I to charge that much? Who am I to take on this kind of mission? Who am I to be ready to claim that kind of next level? Whether that's six figures, multiple figures, seven figures. Maybe it's, like my beautiful client, Martha, who had already had a successful yoga practice for 20 years, but she had fear and doubt stopping her from actually launching her sacred work into the world, which was taking this sacred book of divine feminine teachings, of embodiment and practices of vibrancy and sexuality and embodiment to her community. She had not yet embodied the certainty and the faith of knowing that she was worthy of sharing and expressing all that she truly was to the world. And as a result of us coaching together, she was able to shift those limitations into limitless love and integrate the embodiment of the divinity of who she really was here. She already made a mark on the world, and it was time. It was time to take it to the next level. It was time to expand. It was time to share the practices that shifted her life with her community. And so that's what she did. She launched her brand online. She launched her book to the world, and she was able to share that voice with her community. And now she has this online presence. She's able to reach not only the community that already loves her, but even more women with her mission and her message and her change. So, self doubt, I always teach my students and clients that self doubt is a miracle blocker. And we learn this from the master himself, Jesus Christ, where he was, ancient scriptures literally say that in his own hometown, he could do no miracles. Here he was performing signs, wonders, and miracles, and he could not perform miracles in his hometown, not because he personally couldn't do it. Scripture and this archetypal story teaches us that he couldn't do it because of, quote, their unbelief. It's the unbelief that actually blocks miracles, signs, and wonders in our lives. You cannot have doubt and have certainty in the same frequency. You're either aligning yourself to the highest frequency and vision and possibility of love, which is nothing missing, nothing broken, perfect, whole, and complete, or you are looking through the lens of fear, scarcity, and separation, lack, and limitation. And so, doubt is the biggest miracle blocker of all. So, here is the secret of what you need instead. It is the secret of self belief. How do you get the self belief though? Self belief comes from what you believe about yourself. You have to have a philosophy, you have to have some sort of framework beyond even just mindset of how you guide your life, how you guide your decisions, how you guide your actions, how you have your relationship with money, how you have a relationship with yourself, others, how you have a relationship with your business, how you have a relationship to visibility, your personal power. It's all about what you believe you are capable of, what you're worthy of, and the embodiment of that. So, a self made woman believes in herself before the world does. She doesn't wait for external validation. She anchors herself into certainty through the, the identity of divinity through faith because she knows she was called. A self-made woman knows she's destined for more, she's called for more, she knows she's here for a purpose, she knows that there's greater within her that is ready to emerge and be released into the world. That is the seed of greatness that was planted by the creator. That is the imprint of the divinity within us that is desiring to be made manifest in the world. Why? To shine the glory of God. So here is your invitation, and here is the masterful coach question for you right now. Where in your life or your business are you waiting for permission instead of trusting yourself? Self-trust comes from self-belief. Self-belief comes from identity. And you will either take on the identity of your ancestors and your culture and your environment and the world that teaches you to be safe, that teaches you, that there's not enough, that teaches you lack and limitation and separation, or you can choose to align with the highest vision, version, and vibration of your destiny code, and choosing to move forward. So identify right now where in your life or business are you waiting for permission instead of trusting yourself, allowing yourself to show up. Where is that? Identify that right now. Identify that right now. And and trust the one main thing. In this one area, what is this one area where you need to strengthen your self-belief to move forward and what you know you're meant to say, do, be, have, express, and experience in the world? So I'm going to invite you right now. I'm going to invite you right now to identify where in your life or your business are you waiting for permission instead of trusting yourself, allowing yourself, committing, deciding, and expressing yourself fully in the world? And then what is one area where you need to strengthen your self belief to move forward? If you had this belief in yourself, you would at least take one action today that you didn't take yesterday, that you didn't take last year, that you didn't take before. A self made woman dissolves the saboteur of self doubt because she knows that's a miracle blocker. And instead, she chooses to believe in self, which is believing in the divinity that is within her, the seed of greatness that's within her. She doesn't wait for permission. She gives herself permission. She allows, she trusts, she chooses, she commits, she decides, and she moves forward. Now, in the masterclass experience that is coming next week, I'm really excited because we're going to go much, much, much deeper. And module one and day one, we are going to illuminate your vision. We're going to clarify your next chapter so that you can say yes to your highest self. Like, and what's so beautiful is I've designed this masterclass to be like designing the magazine of you, because that is how I am leading my private one-on-one clients and mastermind clients. Is I am leading them to design their lifestyle and their businesses and their brands and their launches and their wealth to be like different seasons and editions of a magazine or a media company. And what that allows you to do is to really be an artist and enjoy the creative process of being a creatrix and creating the magic that you're here to create in the world. And it really, this is so beautiful for women because I always see women getting stuck with like in their brains instead of like aligning with the feminine arts, with the falling in love with the creative process. And that is not something that has been taught or encouraged in the business world when it comes to success and money and leadership, because money, success, leadership, and business was in the beginning formed by men, and that's not how they're designed. And so this is going to bring you back to your divine design of being a feminine woman and enjoying the creative process of art. So, like every legendary magazine cover story, your success starts with a bold, illuminated vision. And in the masterclass, we're going to activate your faith. Okay, we're going to gain clarity on the next level of your calling. We're going to align with God's highest vision for you and step fully into the woman that you are destined to become. And you're going to start shaping the story of success that you're ready to live and lead right now in this season for 2025. If you are excited about that, put it in the chat box. Say yes, amen, aho, so let it be. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yeah. Everybody's saying yes, yes, yes. So good. So, 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 so good. So good. So now I want to share with you, we want to move into the second saboteur of the self-made woman's success. And that is self-abandonment. Self-abandonment. Okay. Now, self-abandonment leads to another saboteur, which is self-sacrifice. Self-sacrifice comes from abandoning yourself. Okay, this is so prevalent in women, especially. So, too many women achieve external success, but they feel exhausted in the process. They feel exhausted on the inside because they're overworking to prove their worth. They are undervaluing themselves in the marketplace, so they're undercharging for their brilliance. And a lot of times women, they have, we have big hearts, and you say yes when you really mean no. Now, what this ends up doing is cause it over time, it creates resentment. It creates resentment for the very people that you actually love and the people that you're meant to serve. And a lot of women end up taking on the complex of, they're taking advantage of me. No, women, people are not taking advantage of you. No one is taking advantage of you. And if that is showing up in your environment, that is because there is somewhere that you have abandoned yourself, your standards, okay? You've abandoned your standard. What is acceptable for how people interact with you, and that comes through uh, you leading yourself okay? And I also see this showing up with women leaders and trends and their work with clients, where they're overgiving with them, right? And they're not holding their clients as powerful. So with my work with clients, I am holding you powerful in love, no matter what, even at times when you think you can't do so for yourself. It means despite whatever experience you're having, I am going to mirror for you the highest vision, version, and vibration and destiny, supreme destiny that you're here. And so that's going to invite you to rise, because I am more committed to your personal power, knowing that you have personal power to transform and heal and create and expand and receive and allow, okay, and have everything that God has in mind for you than I do with the illusion of lack, separation, fear that is showing up in the field as resistance. Why? As an invitation for you to look at, for you to feel, for you to heal, and for you to let go and reframe and claim your new self-belief, like we talked about in the first part. And that is going to allow you to step into self-leadership. So the secret is to shift from self-abandonment and self-sacrifice into self-leadership. Self-leadership comes from anchoring in the first part, which is the self-belief. You cannot step into self-leadership without self-belief. Okay, it's impossible. You can't lead yourself without the identity in which you lead. Okay, so a self-made woman does not abandon herself in pursuit of success. A self-made woman does not abandon herself in relationships. A self-made woman does not abandon herself in her relationship to and with money. A self-made woman does not abandon herself in her relationship to her clients. She's not a people pleaser. She is not looking for the approval of others. And by the way, what's most important on this is she can do this with grace. Because when I teach this, if women haven't seen other women model how to actually do this in a way that actually feels good, in a way that demonstrates grace and class and dignity and love, then what ends up happening is you see them saying, you know, like, that's when they start shifting into, excuse my French, as the bitch archetype, because they don't know how to create. They're like trying to create boundaries with others. You don't need boundaries when you have standards. You don't need boundaries when you have standards. Boundaries are automatically created from the standards that you live, love, and lead by. So this is the artistry of the queen. This is the artistry of the empress. She has impeccable standards. Okay. So when you move into leading yourself and shifting from the saboteur of self abandonment and self-sacrifice, which creates resentment, and instead anchor in that self-belief so that you can move into self-leadership and lead yourself. You're doing that because you have set high value standards for how you spend your time, your energy, your money, the relationship you choose, the quality of clients you choose to work with and serve. Okay, when you lead yourself at the highest value standard, you are charging in alignment with the value that you have to offer. Okay, you are standing in the full glory of your divine worth and no and compensation as well. And when you lead yourself and step into self leadership, you're trusting yourself to lead and make powerful decisions and create what you desire without questioning yourself, without going into the mental loop. So, the invitation here for you, right here, right now, is to ask yourself this question: where in your business or in your life have you been overgiving, overworking, over explaining? I'm going to say it again. Where in your business or your life have you been overgiving, overworking, and over explaining? Taking a deep, expansive breath in here. Whew, I'm going to give you just a moment for you. Mm, to write it down. Make it clear. Make it clear. Make it clear. And by the way, like, this is an ever evolving life process. You know, what I'm sharing with you, self growth and is and self growth and evolution is over a lifetime. And this is something that we're constantly refining through every single phase of growth. Whether you're just getting started, whether you are on the path to, creating your first five figure month, 6 figure year, multiple 6 figure year, every single phase of growth, even from moving from, an independent single woman into marriage, like this is for life and business and everywhere. Okay, this is where in your life, your lifestyle, your relationships, and your business and inside with your clients are you overgiving, overworking, and over explaining. Okay, write it down. And you'll have an opportunity to go much deeper with this. Okay, so I also want you to review all of this after this masterclass. In fact, I want you to bring this is the pre-work for the Self-Made Woman Masterclass that's happening next week. So this is setting the tone for where we're going. This is just the beginning of where we're about to go. So you're going to bring this work with you because this is the pre-work for the Self-Made Woman Masterclass that's happening next week. So now that you have wrote that down and you're identifying this, I'm going to ask you the question. If you fully trusted yourself as the CEO of your life, as the CEO of your success story, what would you start doing instead? And what would you stop doing? If you fully trusted yourself to lead yourself as the CEO of your life and your success story, if you fully embodied the divine identity that God has in mind for you, Creator has in mind for you, which is nothing missing, nothing broken, perfect, whole, and complete. Yeah. What would you start doing differently? And what would you stop? Bring this to the masterclass experience next week because we're teaching on the power of self leadership. Oh, yeah, we're going much deeper and much further. Let me tell you about it. So, the second day and the second module is all about the editorial excellence. That's what I'm calling it, editorial excellence. You're going to be in charge to command the narrative. You're going to own your power. You're going to elevate your standards, and you're going to lead with heart and conviction. Because a powerful woman does not just hope for success, she owns it. You're going to take authority and you're going to step into bold, heart centered self leadership. You're going to raise your standards that will honor your time, your money, your business, your relationships, and your dignity. Hello. You're going to eliminate compromise from your field, and you're going to lead with unwavering faith and conviction. That's what we're going to do inside a self-made woman masterclass. And it begins with the work that we're doing right here and right now. So I'm going to invite you to take a deep, expansive breath in. So, 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 so good. So, so, so good. How are you feeling? Put it in the chat box. Let me know. How are you feeling? You're receiving some diamond insights. I call these diamond insights. You're going to bring this into the masterclass experience next week. All right. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know how you're feeling in the chat box. I see you're writing, illuminating. All right. So while you're doing that, I'm moving into the third saboteur of the self-made woman's success. This is, I believe, the most dangerous one of all. This is self-glorification. Self-glorification. This one right here, we have to really, this is something else. And I won't have time to go really, really deep on this like I want to, and we will in the full masterclass experience. But sometimes women reach a level of success, or they feel like in order to reach that highest level of success, they become attached to their image rather than their truth. I'm going to say that again. They are attached to their image rather than their truth. They hesitate to evolve because they don't want to lose status. They hesitate to be vulnerable because they don't want to be seen differently than perfect. Okay? They play a role instead of being their most authentic, liberated selves, which is the it factor, by the way, of how your divine right clients, is what I call, find you and choose to work with you. Because there is a frequency about authenticity that will pierce your heart so much more when I say it compared to someone who's copied my words and said it themselves and hasn't embodied their frequency and authenticity. Okay? This also happens when they fear judgment, fear getting canceled. If they expand in new directions or say what they really want to say. I've helped women, there's so many case studies of hundreds of women that I've personally mentored and coached to multiple six, seven figures of success. And these are the shifts required. These are the wealth psychology secrets and the shifts that are needed in order to not only create the success that you desire, but to sustain the success that you desire and to expand the success, okay, that you are hoping for, that you're believing for, that you're claiming. And I will also say that I would say self-glorification is one of the biggest deadly sins, I would call it. Because I'm reminded of the story of how, like, how the archetypal story in sacred scripture talks about a fallen angel. It was the most beautiful, glorious angel of them all, and fell because he wanted to take the place of God. He wanted the worship of God. He wasn't satisfied with being the most beautiful. He wasn't satisfied with all of the gifts that he was given, he wanted more, not for the sake of I'm expanding my capacity to receive more in love and for the greatest good of all. Okay, because there's nothing wrong about expanding or desiring more. That's why we're here on this masterclass, on this class, and why you're stepping into the self-made woman masterclass is to expand beyond what it is that you have the capacity for now. You want to go beyond that. There's nothing wrong with that. But what is really dangerous is wanting more for the sake of money, greed, and power, just to have it, just for the sake of more. And there's nothing that is going to quench that thirst in you. The only thirst that will be quenched is your relationship to and with your creator. That is how we were designed. We are not the creator, okay? We are the vessel. I am not the source. God is the source, and God is the supply. God is my supply, and God is the source. I am simply the vessel. I am not the source of healing or someone else's success. I am the vessel that, and the more I allow God, creator, love itself to rule and reign in my heart and allow myself to open up fully my heart, my mind, my body, everything that I am, everything that I've been, everything that I will be. And I allow myself to be a tuning instrument for the divine to work through me and in me. Then I am, and keep that connection and not lose myself with more money, more greed, more power. Then I'm really able to keep my vessel and my channel clean. I have personally experienced this. I have experienced amazing success. And in the name of feminine liberation, I started finding myself going further and further with sex, money, power, like energy of and not even realizing it. And it was because of my personal relationship to, having a prayer life, having a meditation practice, truly having a heartbeat and an ear that really seeks the divine truth and allows the creator to govern my life in a beautiful way of co-creation. That is what allowed me to reset. And it also allowed me to attract an amazing partner. And now I'm on the path of, discerning marriage and preparing myself as a wife archetype when I've been the strong, independent woman for all these years. So I would say this is the most dangerous saboteur of them all. And because it's like you start the temptation is real. You start having all this fame, all this success, all this money, all this power, and you find yourself as one of the angels, that is, like taking all this praise and all this stuff. And it's like, you have to come back to the truth of who you are and not lose yourself in the process. And that's one of the reasons why women keep themselves safe is because they don't want to lose themselves. But here's the reality. Our soul came to play full out in this experience of this earth realm called life. I have been in the land of not enough. I've been in the land of more than enough. I have had cycles and seasons to business and life and love and leadership and impact and money and success and personal power and all of that. And I'm so grateful and thankful, that I have this anchor and this foundation in which I build upon. And that's why I recently renamed my company Sacred Heart of Success, so that I can remind myself to stay in the Sacred Heart, to live, lead, and love from the Sacred Heart. Um, it's it's truly what keeps me anchored. And so the the counter to this, the shift that's required, the success secret shift, is to move from self glorification to to self-expression. And I want to say pure, unadulterated self-expression, where your heart, you lead from your heart instead of fame, money, power. You lead from your heart. So pure self-expression from the heart, where people feel your heart, the pulse of your heart, the energy, and the powerful stand that you are standing on, what you take a powerful stand for through your heart, through love, more than they feel anything else. And so a self-made woman isn't just, successful, she's iconic. And the most iconic brands in the world are those that you feel. It's not just a status for the sake of status. It's about how those brands make you feel about yourself, by the way. And so I teach my students and clients that, a brand is a promise of a feeling, of an experience. Okay. And so having that pure, unadulterated self expression flow from the authentic, deepest, purest part of who you are, that divinity piece of you, is what is going to create an iconic brand, an iconic experience for all those that are in your field, all those that are in your life, in your business, in your field, your clients, everything. Whew, I can feel this so strongly right now. I feel just tingling everywhere, all over my body. The self-made woman who has a sacred heart of success expresses her truth boldly and unapologetically from that place of a pure heart. And she steps fully into the embodiment of her brand, her wealth, and her leadership, and her voice. And she's the woman who creates a legacy. And she speaks from her heart, and she speaks from her soul, and she speaks at a frequency that is felt from her heart, that's felt from the depth of her being, the way that you are feeling what you're feeling right now. Because I know I'm feeling such a high frequency move through me. Christine saying, yes, yes, excited for next week. Yes, 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 yes. Is this resonating for you? Is this resonating for you? So the invitation here for your self-reflection, your coaching, your master coaching question for this session is this: where have you not allowed yourself to express the truth of who you really are? And where have you not allowed yourself to tap into that pure, innocent space and place within you? Yeah, I feel that really strongly. Hmm. So go ahead and get clear on that right now. Write that down. And you will get the replay on this. So if you want to listen to this again, you can pause it, write it. And the follow-up question for that is, if you showed up, not 100%, because I teach 1,000% energetic frequency and commitment. If you were to show up 1,000% energetically committed to the pure, unadulterated, fully self-expressed version of you that lives, loves, leads, speaks, creates from the pure, innocent, beautiful space and place of who you are, what would that look like? What would that look like? First thing that imprints on your mind. Don't feel that. Allow it to be an imprint. Allow yourself to receive this. Write it down. Write it down. Write it down. So I'm going to say that again. I have no idea how long we've been because when I start teaching, I like go into another realm, and I probably shouldn't have said 30 minutes because I'm really not known for 30 minutes. So I'll edit the copy when I send this out. But where are you? What are you? Whew. Hmm. If you were to 1,000% fully show up from the pure, unadulterated, fully self expressed version of you that lives, loves, and leads from your heart, from that deep space and place of innocence within you, if you were to express that in your life, in your business, in your brand, with your clients, in your relationships, what would that look like? How would that be different? So just write down the prompt, and you can go much deeper on this with the replay or when you journal after this is over. But I just want to take a moment to just honor the wisdom that's flowing here, right now. Mm. Whew, go ahead and take deep breath because we're coming home. We are wrapping this up with a beautiful little bow right here, right now. Mm. We're going to go much deeper into the self-made masterclass experiencing happening next week in module 3 on day 3, which is entitled Cover to Cover, Express Your Legacy. You're going to define your signature presence and essence, and you are going to write the headlines of success that's going to make heads turn. It's going to make attraction effortless because you're vibrating at a totally different frequency. And just like every single iconic figure who graces the cover of a magazine, your brand, your business, your lifestyle, your relationship should be an unmistakable reflection of you, not someone else, you, not someone who you admire. I'm here to share with you identity and principles and precepts that I've embodied that you get to try on for yourself. But at the end of the day, especially at the Self-Made Woman Masterclass experience, you are going to anchor the authenticity of who you really are. And you're going to be able to translate that to others. And it's going to set the tone for the year. And for those of you that go even further than the masterclass experience, we're going to have a blueprint on what we're going to create in 2025. And we're going to do it walking together with the Sacred Heart of Success. So the final module is going to be really powerful because you're going to align your style, your voice, and your identity with your highest intentions and goals for this year. Right? And it's not going to be goals that you think you should do. It's going to be from that pure, knowing, embodied, wise, revelatory insight that you receive from all the work we've done. You're going to unlock the power of self-expression, visibility, and impact. Who you're being, what you do is one thing, but who you're being when you do what you do makes all the difference in the world. And when you are aligning with that signature presence of an embodied brand and vision and mission and identity, it hits harder. It attracts ideal, committed clients at premium fees. It creates and attracts divine opportunities, collaborations, puts you on platforms that are beyond what you could ever think, dream, or even imagine. You're going to craft the ultimate success story, one that makes headlines in lifestyle, leadership, and legacy, not just in money, but in how you live, love, and lead in every area of your life. And finally, in the masterclass experience, we are going to have a bonus call that's all going to be like Q&A, and I'm going to be teaching you your path to faith, freedom, and fortune. It's going to be a live Q&A success coaching with me. You're going to have real-time guidance, strategy, and next level breakthroughs. You're going to get to ask your questions. This is your chance to receive direct coaching, personalized insights, and tailored mentorship from me. This is what you get to experience, like my high level clients get to experience, that create multiple 6 and 7 figures. You're going to have an opportunity to bring your questions, your insights, all of that to this call, and we're going to go much deeper. And I'm also going to be teaching bonus content on this bonus day. I'm going to be teaching you my P3 expansion equation, P3 expansion equation. You can read more about it. It's a powerful framework that I developed to support you in really breaking free into the predictable, stepping into what's possible, and claiming your divine potential. It's a coaching framework that I developed. It's powerful. I'm also going to teach you my framework on the $1,000,000 destiny map, how to explore faith, freedom, and fortune, which is the different phases of growth of the self-made woman to become a $1,000,000 destiny woman. And then I'm also going to share with you exclusive case studies so that you can be inspired by other women's transformations and understand where they started, what they had, what they were struggling with, what was going for them. Like really understand where they were in their phase of growth, where they were in business and leadership and voice and influence and things like that, and what needed to shift for them and what they created instead, on how they became self-made as well. So I am going to share my screen, and I am going to close this. Oh, go ahead and take a deep, expansive breath. I'm going to check the comments. Christine says you are so inspiring. I have got to go. All right, you're blessed. I'll see you next week. And if you want to get the replay, I have that. So I am going to, as we close, I'm going to share the screen right now. Let's share the screen. I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to share the screen for the queen. I think I've made a new word. All right, so here we are. This is the self-made woman. If you have not gone on to this website to register, what are you waiting for? Go to self-madewoman.com. Go to self-madewoman.com right now and register. This is the first masterclass of the year. Anyone that's been in my world, many of you who have been in my masterclasses know I don't do many masterclasses. I am leading high-level one-on-one mentorship. I'm traveling the world. I have a real estate portfolio collection of waterfront properties that I manage. I lead masterminds. Like doing master classes like this, is really special. And this is the way to get into my space at a fraction of the investment. I'm basically giving it away as my gift to you. And right now, there is still a promotion saving. So go to self-madewoman.com right now and sign up. We are going to be going live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, USA. Yes, there's going to be a replay, so there's no excuse. There's women that have registered that are signing up from Australia and different parts of the world. They're not going to catch live, but actually, some of my Australian women decide to come on live. They like create time. Some of these women are so committed. Okay. Some of them that have even invested 5 figures to work with me in the past show up for these master classes and do the work. And some of them that are in other countries show up at all kinds of hours just to be there live. And they make it work for their schedule. So there's no excuse. Self-madewoman.com, go register. You're going to get the replay, and you're going to be able to submit your questions if for whatever reason you can't join us live. But this is going to be absolutely powerful. You can go to self-madewoman.com, read all about it. I want you to read the entire copy. It's really amazing. It's going to invite you to really fall in love with the artistry of designing your life, your leadership, and your legacy. Here's my beautiful client, Martha Langer. I told you about her a little bit. She launched an online brand, Signature Talk, and an amazing book. Check her out, Martha Langer. She said, before working with Tara, I was unable to present and express my full self online. She was frozen in resistance and fear. This is a woman who had 20 years experience of being a yoga teacher and sharing her work. And, even she had this fear, even though she knew it was time to launch. And she says, with her guidance and support, I claimed my power. I launched my sacred book joyfully, and she wrote and delivered her first signature talk from a place of authenticity. She expanded her influence, her impact, and she now has the transformation tools and confidence to continue sharing her sacred work online. She said, Tara is the mentor you need to step into your full embodied power as a feminine leader. Her support helped me align my psyche with my spirit and move forward with purpose and heart centered strategy. Yes, yes to all of that. You're going to read all of the amazing, powerful. I've designed this masterclass to be an artful experience of self expression. It's going to be unlike anything you've ever experienced before. It was truly a divine download. This is my client, Natalie Goucher. Powerful woman. She's a coach, she's a trainer, she's a founder for a nonprofit. She's spoken on stages to, like hundreds, thousands. She said, my biggest challenge was being a complete workaholic, over delivering and undercharging. I knew there had to be a better way. So I invested in myself and I hired Tara as my coach and mentor. This way of lifestyle and business has opened up so many possibilities for me. It's much easier to see my dreams and desires come to life now that I have more time, more income to accommodate that. Her relationship with her family is more rich. She said she's actually enjoying herself by taking 1 to 2 days off a week and making more money at the same time. This woman literally became a brand new woman. Her self worth went through the roof and she surpassed six figures. She actually created, I believe it was like $15,000 in the first just couple weeks of mentoring with me. She did one on one private and also a year long mastermind with me. Um, yeah, so powerful, powerful, powerful. And then this is Cynthia Stantz. She's a CEO. She became a self-made millionaire while working with me. This is, a year. And she came to me with already making $10,000 to $12,000 months. And we were able to scale her to $70,000 cash months. And she became a self-made millionaire. And she did that while enjoying the process, and she bought a new house, she bought a new dream car, she booked a vacation in Mexico. She, myself, and her husband celebrated in Mexico together. It was amazing. And the biggest thing she said is Tara provided the structure and guidance to help me embody my brand and stay aligned as a premium leader to show up every day. And I also helped her simplify, like make it so much easier for her to make more money online and in her premium business without working harder or launching herself to death. So go ahead and sign up right now, self-madewoman.com, and get a taste and see that this is going to be absolutely amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful and thankful that you stuck around for this class. And when you've registered and you said yes, I want you to send me a private message and just say I'm in so we can celebrate together. I am so excited. The women that have already said yes are very, very excited. And you should be too, because this is absolutely going to be a masterpiece. I love you. I bless you. And remember, you are so worthy of all that is good and all that is great simply because you were a child of the divine. You are a child of God and you are meant to make your light luminous. So shine your divine light. I'll see you soon. Take care.